at NDTV Profit and giving us more details of the earnings posted by KG Talent. So their product mix has improved and they are focusing more on high margin business. Let's pull out the stock of 8K Miles for you. This software company has come out with its earnings. The stock had spiked. Is still holding on to gains about 1.5% or so. Let's take you through the earnings. The revenues have come in at 122 crore rupees, up 18% sequentially. Profit after tax up 22% sequentially. EBITDA has also grown 15% sequentially. To talk to us about the earnings, we are joined by Mr. Suresh Venkatachari, Chairman and CEO at 8K Miles. He's joining us all the way from California. Mr. Venkatachari, thank you so much for speaking with us at NDTV Profit. It's been a very strong quarter for your company, unlike what we've seen in many IT companies. So can you tell us what drove revenues for you in this quarter?
So it's growing in our cloud-based revenue, cloud IT transformation. We started working with a lot of Fortune companies, and we also won recently a Fortune 50 company, which is helping us to grow our cloud and consulting revenue for our company.
So can you tell us what has been the growth rate in your cloud revenues? Is it largely on what was the base in the same period a year ago, and what has been the growth?
See, actually, cloud revenue has been significantly more than doubled actually in the last year or so. We've grown on 100% on year on the revenue. And the cloud revenue consists of multiple components. One is actually the cloud architecture, consulting, and the transformation into the cloud. And the second is actually the managed services where you have an annual recurring revenue model comes. We focus on actually healthcare and life science predominantly, and also we added a couple of customers in the financial services and started growing. So our revenue is growing both on the consulting aspect as well as on the managed services. Typically, like a large Fortune companies, it takes multiple years before they can completely move entire thing into the cloud. And that's where our recurring revenue will grow significantly.
All right. So you said that you first provide the product, the platform, and then you have the recurring revenue as well. How much more are you seeing in terms of growth for your cloud business? What about the other verticals? How are they performing?
So cloud is actually still in a very, I would say, very early stage. Even though there's a lot of several Fortune 500 companies are not even implemented cloud and they are taking a slower approach. So there is a great opportunity for next, I would say, about 3 to 5 years. Even Amazon and Microsoft predicts a huge growth in the cloud space. We focus on regulated industries like life science, healthcare, and financial. However, we also help companies in e-commerce, company helps in manufacturing on the cloud. And also we look at opportunities right now on the ERP space because many of the enterprises want to move their ERP into the cloud. So that we see a great opportunity for us. So we are actually partnering with a company in the US and also expanding ourselves in the Europe, kind of an ERP move into the cloud opportunities. That is actually kind of a very recurring revenue model where you move the ERP into the cloud and also manage service that infrastructure and application.
So can you tell us when it comes to the managed services business, what is the growth there opposed to giving your platform? How does this recurring business look like, and what is the pricing there?
See, managed services is actually based on the typically how many application infrastructure which are moved in the cloud. And it is actually progressively growing, but our consulting and architectural revenue also is growing significantly. So our percentage of managed services against the entire revenue, which is still similar, probably is probably about 30-35% on the whole revenue. That's where we have a recurring revenue model. The rest is all actually on a consulting and building the architecture and security infrastructure and everything. And it would take, because what we see in the large enterprise, there is like I want to give you a simple example. There's a large enterprise has like 50 different divisions and several hundred applications are running in. So it would take actually for them move the entire application and all the divisions into the cloud will take a multiple years. Once as soon as they move the infrastructure into the cloud, we will start providing a managed services also. So the managed services will increase as they move all the application into the cloud.
Right. How many new clients you added? You mentioned a client in the BFSI segment. Total client addition, including healthcare and life sciences, what was it like in Q2?
So in Q2, actually, we have done more than about nine clients, out of which about two Fortune 500 clients, and one is actually a Fortune 50 client.
All right. And what was the average deal size?
So these are actually growing because we could see like accounts which are started like last year, which we won a Fortune client, which is actually started like a $500,000 deal. Now it's transformed into like a 4 million plus $5 million revenue range. The new deals, what we sign up now, it will eventually grow into that kind of a bigger opportunity. What we see their IT spend, planned IT spend, the planned cloud spend, which is actually very significant, and we will be part of their entire healthcare, mobile and IoT.
Right. We understand that when it comes to discretionary spending, clients are spending more on the newer technologies, cloud, big analytics, etc. We want to understand, how do you claw away from bigger companies in this market when other bigger companies, your rivals from India, are innovating they already have big clients and they're trying to sell them these new propositions. How do you as a niche company position yourself to beat your rivals?
Okay, so we believe in innovation actually. That is a very good question actually. We believe in innovation. That is the main reason we could able to even win a Fortune 50 client on the healthcare, and recently we are expanding that into the entire all the industries, including manufacturing and including their aerospace and everything, oil and gas. If you see, the reason is because we have built a platform. We have built a couple of platforms, Cloud Easy platform and Automate on this. These platforms are really helping us to provide a quick acceleration into the cloud, and the customers can able to predict their success and the model, and also how quickly they can able to ramp up into the cloud. And when you talk about security and compliance, that is our one of a very unique forte. That is what we could able to really take away the deals from a very large companies, from both our Indian global SI as well as in the US market. So it's a constant, we innovate in our solution, and our partnership with like Amazon and Microsoft is helping us also into in front of many customers, such customers where we jointly go and market and provide our solution.
Profits have jumped 22% on a sequential basis. Will you keep up with this kind of momentum? What are your EBITDA margins like?
See, currently we are having a very healthy margin due to our Cloud Easy platform actually, and our automated platforms what we enjoy. The margin is always have a pressure, but we beat it through our innovation, automation. We believe in automation rather than providing like a people growth. So that's the reason we could able to maintain a decent margin growth.
Can you tell us where your margins stand at, EBITDA margins?
EBITDA margins are 34.5% actually.
Okay. For this year, FY17, what kind of revenue growth will you close the year with?
We do not give any, actually currently I do not give any forward-looking guidance still. So, but we are going on a quarter-on-quarter, and if you see last year we have done about 270 crores. For these two quarters, we have already close to 220, 225 crores. So we are almost 80-90% of the last year's growth. So we could able to, I think we can able to, if we keep the same momentum, we should able to really grow significantly.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us and giving us details of earnings for 8K Miles. So the company's done very well, especially when it comes to cloud automation and managed services. With that, we slip into a break. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit for all the latest.